Kilimo chetu, our farming.
My name is Tarimeke Zwachidawanyika. I'm 21 years old. Started farming when I was 19. We farm in Norton. Right now I've got 40 hectares of wheat in the ground. And then during the summer we're doing 200 hectares of maize. I've always loved farming. I've always been into farming ever since I was grade 6, going to my uncle's farm. And that's when I started learning to farm, learning the skills, enjoying the lifestyle. And yeah, as soon as I finished my school, I went into farming full time, and with the help of the government through Command and those other input schemes, it actually helped us a lot to get up and move as a young guy.
I started farming way back on the onset of the land reform. That was in 2000, and I got my farm in 2001, but effectively I started the practical element of farming in 2002. I never looked back. I was a young guy. I was only 24 years of age. And, when I started, I wasn't really, like I'm passionate about farming. I just looked at it as a business. But as time went on, I became so passionate about it.
We have been farming for the past 3 years. That is after our parents passed on, and we have taken over the operation. We are beneficiaries of the land reform program that was initiated by ZANU-PF-led government. In a nutshell, what I would love to say is this program has really empowered us as the black people in what we have been doing. Economically, now we're able to farm. We've got wheat, we've got livestock, we do row cropping, and we're looking forward to be in a position to increase our area of cropping so that we can be able to fill our national silos.
Today we're at one of my fields. You can see I've planted wheat. Here the pivot is doing its final rounds because it's almost dry. This is a 25 hectare field. The first planting that we did was 15 April. It was a very early planting because the crop before this was tobacco. I'm expecting a yield of at least 6 tons per hectare. 6 tons per hectare. Our harvest dates, I'm expecting to harvest around 25 September.
My name is Tawanda Paspanovka, based in Mashonaland West. I'm a farmer, young farmer by the way. As for now, I'm working with my dad, Mr. Paspanovka Ephraim. As for the duties I'm doing at the farm now, I'm mainly procurement and supervision of everything that's done on the farm. As a youth, I'm so privileged and so glad that we benefited from the land reform program. And I'm actually taking this as a career and taking it as a business as well. As for now, we are sitting on, our actual farm is actually 32 hectares, but we actually renting out around 600 hectares under irrigation. Yeah, so for winter we have around 250 barley, then 100 wheat.
I started with 3 hectares of potatoes. Before that I was doing a transport business, combis. Later I went on to do buses, but I got wind that the land reform is benefiting black entrepreneurs. So being an entrepreneur at heart from a young age, I just thought I could try the opportunity in the agriculture space. So I took it upon myself to start farming. So I started with those 3 hectares of potatoes. By the time the new dispensation came, I was now doing 200 hectares of crops, raw crops and the potatoes. Now, through the stewardship of President Idi Mnangagwa and the government facilities that he rolled out, I benefited a lot through the John Deere facility, the CBZ John Deere facility scheme, where I got a 95 horsepower brand new John Deere tractor, where I paid 15% deposit, and the facility was for 3 years. So I'm paying at bank rate. The interest rate is 6%. No way have we ever come across such facilities in this country, and it's happening in agriculture through these indigenous banks.
Currently, we have a crop, a wheat crop, which is 220 hectares of wheat. As you can see, this one is almost in the drying stage. The rest still is in vegetative stage. We do wheat, tobacco, we do maize, we do soya beans. We also have some livestock, which includes some cattle farming, broiler layers, and as well as sheep and goat.
My name is Batre Magaya. I'm a young farmer based in Torashanga. I'm 35 years old. Here, as you can see, I'm growing wheat 120 hectares, and in summer I do tobacco again 120. Then I've got maize 70 hectares. But land is a limiting factor. But we thank the President Idi Mnangagwa for his programs, which helps us a lot in terms of producing our crop.
When we talk about cereals, we talk about Mashonaland West, and that's mainly your Rimba and Makonde. So here, there's a huge drive from a government point of view through our Agritech extension. They're helping us, to realize the full potential in terms of cereal growing. And we are proud as young guys that we are constituting at least about 30 to 40% of the national basket in terms of wheat production in this country. We are talking of guys who are 35 and below who are doing this production. And what I want to say is it is about leadership yedu. When Chiva Terera, I want to say His Excellency the President Comrade Idi Mnangagwa, when he was addressing the Zion Christian Church, he mentioned he was actually preaching in actual fact, and but the way he was preaching, I was shocked because it tapped on a lot of important things, aspects that touch on us young people in the country. Mukatarisa vakaverenga vhesi raitaura nezvekuti uchadya cheziya, ichi ndo cheziya ichi chekuti we must farm, and tonyatsoona kuti aiwa taita zvinedikita kurima kunorwadza, but I took a leaf from that teaching.
Kilimo chetu, our farm.
I want to commend the President, Comrade Mnangagwa, and his government for the support that they continue to give us through NIAPS, which is the one that has financed our crop, that's CBZ Agro Yield. We also have the uninterrupted power supply, which we are looking forward that even in the forthcoming summer season, we will be able to get the same, so that we establish our crop early, and we are also able to be food reliant. Also on the issue of markets, we have been given a platform through the ZMX, which we look forward to selling our commodity and be able to be paid and further develop within our farming space and farming agriculture community.
In this new dispensation, there's been a lot of support in agriculture, in wheat, maize, and soybeans. these are crops that are being financed by government, and they've put all the effort. It's unfortunate that we still have people who do not see the opportunity that has presented itself, that the president through government has presented through these facilities. I've been in business for a long time. I have tried many things in my life through my entrepreneurial skills. Starting with transport, I've done mining, I've done many other things, but I've seen a lot of potential in agriculture. And I urge all youth and many other fellow Zimbabweans to take up the farming as a business. At the end of the day, we get into business to make money, but we get into agriculture and take it as a business. You make money for yourself, you create jobs for the community.
The government, as you can see, has helped us a lot. This land where we started, we had 70 hectares as a family. We had 70 hectares, and the government, through the land reform program, we added another 300 hectares. So we have benefited a lot from the government. And all the land is in use. 300 hectares, all is now under irrigation.
All the other schemes, all the other projects that the government helps us with, they really do help and they really do boost us, especially as young guys. Because, you know, when you start, like I'm saying, I started at 19, you don't have a lot of base to start with, you know, and when you've got the government support, anything can happen. Through the current government, we managed to, like we're saying, we managed to get a loan for a new irrigation scheme. So putting in another 35 hectare pivot, that's on the way right now. And my irrigation is all through bowls and stuff. So it's quite a very capital intensive operation. Also through the mechanization scheme, I was able to purchase a combine to help me be more productive, be more efficient with my farming. And it's really helped me also scale up.
For this farm, it's a 90 hectare purchase area farm. Then for another, we have 3 sections. For Chitomburuzi section, we have Torasanga section, we have Bangi section. Torasanga section is under the land reform program. That's 450 hectares of land. This area is 90 hectares under purchase area. This 90 hectare farm, it's only 40 hectares arable, but 200 hectares we lease from other farmers around. So this motivated me to also come up with the way my father was also leasing from other farmers. It motivated me to come here.
Last year as a country, we managed to surpass our national wheat requirement due to the support that we got from the government of Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa. And this year, we have been given more support by provision of uninterrupted power supply, which has allowed us to have this beautiful crop that you see here. Currently, it's at grain filling stage, and we're looking forward on getting a bumper harvest and even smashing the harvest that we did as a nation last year, and surpassing our requirement of 350,000 metric tons, and being able to export as well, which allows us to earn foreign currency.
This season that we are just coming out of the summer season, I had 800 hectares of cropping on 12 farms that I am leasing or have joint venture with the farm owners around Mashonaland West, Triloni, Banket, Chinoi, Lions Den, Mangura, and areas around. And currently I have got a crop of wheat that you can see here. On this farm we have got 130 hectares of wheat. All of it, the youngest crop is this one you see here. We have another farm that I'm leasing where I have a joint venture with the landowner there. I've got 70 hectares there. That brings my total of wheat for this year 2020-2021 2023 to 200. I have got an irrigation capacity currently under center pivots of 280 hectares. My plan is to irrigate 500 hectares of commercial maize this year to also feed into strategic grain reserve.
We have become wheat self-sufficient as a country, you know, but it is because of the government support. The new dispensation has supported us fully, and they're also looking at what quota is the youths. How can we capacitate the youths so that they can, you know, contribute to the national basket.
Kilimo chetu, our farming.
I started farming when I was still a student at UZ. When I came to this farm, that is in 1996, and I was leasing this farm, and there was nothing. It was starting from ground zero, exactly ground zero. So, well, the drive was that I really wanted to succeed as a farmer, especially as a black farmer. Now, I think, since now I'm 56 years old, I'm looking at passing on the baton to the young guys. We are also moving, trying to train a lot of guys, maybe 4 or 5 guys from Black 4B, and they've passed through this farm. We've managed also to help them now try to acquire this irrigation equipment, and we are also proposing that the young farmers they can use us as guarantors when they want to borrow, say especially for capital expenditures, things like center pivots and also the technical know-how.
Farming is an ongoing concern like any business. So in this case, I've actually robbed in my sons. He's not the only one. The 2 more behind him. We take them through the agricultural colleges first. That's the first and foremost qualification they do after school, so that at least they can take up the investment that we've done in agriculture. Basically, the thrust is set by our president for the vision 2030. We are looking at food sufficiency, self-sustenance. We do about 160 hectares of tobacco. We do about 300 hectares of maize, and also about 200 hectares of soya, all under irrigation. We've gone through all under irrigation because we have seen the changes in the climate in climate, so that we can avert the effects of drought. So you find out for all the crops that we do, they're all under irrigation. And for all that, I'm actually channeling most of the energy towards these young guys, so that at least I'm getting to my 60s now, and they need to take over, so that at least the chain goes on and on. Because basically, as far as we're concerned, the land reform program, for me, we thank the government for the implementation of such a program, which empowers us as Zimbabweans to produce what we can feed our own country.
Here I've got 8 students from 3 different agricultural institutions in this country. I take from Chino University, I take from Gwebi, I take from Chibero, and then we impart knowledge. Actually, we are saying we want to teach them. They've got the theory, the practical element of doing it, and also it's got money. You know, the biggest motivator sometimes it's the money aspect out of it. So when other young guys who are in towns, or our uncles, sons and daughters and whatever, when they see us really making it, to say uyu mwana wefu uyu munhu mutema who is really doing that, it inspires the next young man and the next young man. So we take them.
As youth in Mash West, through the guidance from fellow young black farmers like Mike Mutasa, he has coached me a lot, and since I came to Mash West in 2017, he has taken me by hand. He has held me through all these, even the irrigation schemes that I've done. It's not like I had enough money, or I had, with banks you need collateral when you're starting a relationship with them.
To young people like us, they have to be introduced to farming so that they can see how important it is to be in agricultural industry, to be in agricultural sector, because as you can see, we are the people who are feeding the nation.
My advice to you is don't look at agriculture as something that's done by rural people or by poor people. This is commercial farming where you can generate millions of money, millions of dollars. Look at this as an opportunity for a lifetime, for generations to come, for youths.
I guess the issue that has been mainly of a great challenge was that of equipment on time. Getting equipment on time to be able to change our crops, and also the issue of markets, which has since been addressed. We delivered GMB, we are paid well on time. We also do have the issue of inputs that have come through a number of farm mechanization programs that are being provided through CBZ and AFC, where we know that whenever we want to do any land preparations, we just book. We have equipment provided. We also have combine harvesters from AFC, which allow us to be able to harvest our crop timeously before the onset of rains, and we can then be able to establish the crop that follows.
Everything has been going well. The government, we thank it very much. The only challenge is to us, the youth, in the farming programs. The government has to also include us as well, in the fact that I stay here, I'm helping my father, but for me to also have my own place is also a hard hassle. But yeah, we would wish the government to also look at us, the youth, and also help us going forward with the farming endeavors as the year progresses.
As young farmers, we are lacking the issue of having our own land. As you can see, this farm, I'm renting this farm to do my farming. So I need a space which I call my own, but now I can't. So if the government can help us on doing that, it will be very, very glad, and we are expecting to grow more.
I guess sufficiency can never be attained. Once you are able to do the hectarage that we have of 200 hectares on crop, we always have a challenge of wanting to go further to test our capacities. So should there be any opportunities of getting more land to farm, it becomes a hobby and a passion. So we look forward to be able to fill up the silos, and that entails being able to crop more land.
Chikuru ndechekuti tine government inoti supporta mukutarisa na pfumvudza, tikutarisa command agriculture, tikutarisa our banks, they empower us and so forth, but it is because the leadership also inenge ichisa effort yekuti no, we need to support our own to achieve a certain vision.